Hey, good morning, everybody. I post a lot in this group, but I don't really do too many videos. 2019, I think I'm going to do more videos. I've been encouraged to do that by my coach. And as a marketing person, director, consultant, whatever, I understand the value in it, and I certainly encourage others to do it. So there's no reason for me not to do it myself. I just wanted to come to you this morning, say good morning to everybody. I am currently in Bethlehem, Georgia, just a little bit north of Atlanta. I am here with my cousin. I mean not my cousin, but my sister. Still kind of early for me. I just wanted to talk to y'all. I had I hesitate to use the word disappointing, but could conceivably be a disappointing day yesterday. I went to see the governor of Florida about a personal matter. And I've been preparing for this day for quite a long time. Like 25 years. And here recently, my request to see the governor was granted. And I've been putting the last 3 or 4 months worth of effort, a dedication, preparation into this meeting. And I went before him. He allowed me to speak. And then he looked up at me and he said, "Thank you. I'll take that under advisement." And our meeting was over. He didn't ask me any questions. He didn't try and drill down into anything I was talking to him about and seek more information. Kind of got the impression that I was kind of flippantly dismissed. I'm not going to put that on the man, but that's the impression I got. And I walked out of there feeling kind of all over the place with my emotions. I was trying to be positive. I was trying to stay upbeat, but I had a growing sense of panic and fear that was developing in my belly. And it was creeping up into all aspects of my being. And I had a choice how to respond to this, what I perceived to be a mounting pile of disappointment. I reflected back at other points in my life, how I may have responded. And I had a long drive. I was driving from Tallahassee to Atlanta. And coincidentally, Facebook was down yesterday. So I had to drive in silence. I couldn't really form words, so I didn't want to talk to anybody on the phone. A lot of my thoughts were jumbled. They would change from one minute to the next. And I probably would have made some kind of post on Facebook, probably would have engaged in some sort of comments or this or that. But instead, I was forced into silence. It gave me quite a bit of time to think, quite a bit of time to reflect. And this outcome has not yet been determined. I didn't receive a denial. I certainly didn't receive an approval. But I didn't receive a denial. I was told he would take it under advisement. And I looked up the meaning of the phrase, "I'll take it under advisement." And that's in a statement or phrase used by those in authority. A judge, a governor, president, boss, something like that. Somebody in authority. That's a phrase they use when they want more information, when they want to take a little more time and look at something. And they'll issue a determination later. That's what the definition is. So this outcome is yet to be determined. I passed a little country church as I crossed the Georgia line, a little Baptist church. And the sign on the marquee, it said, God's denials. No. I got that wrong. It says, God's delays are not God's denials. Now, I don't know if the Lord put it on that pastor's heart to go out there and put that on that sign because he knew I'd be driving that route. Or maybe if it was just strictly coincidence. I don't know. But those words were encouraging to me. Delay is not denial in all senses or always. Then I got a text, or a Facebook message rather, from my business coach. And let me read to you what it says. I can't even imagine what you are feeling and how disappointing it must feel. The story of the last 25 years has been written. The next 25 has not. You have such a unique journey and story that very few have experienced. Feel the pain and disappointing resolutions, but then get clear about where to go from here. How can you take this and make a win of epic proportions? Continue to prove them all wrong. Make the mess your message. How to rise when all the cards are against you. Think of the legacy you will build. That's what you'll be known for, my friend. I think that bears reading again. I can't even imagine what you are feeling and how disappointing it must feel. The story of the last 25 years has been written. The next 25 has not. You have such a unique journey and a story that very few have experienced. Feel the pain and disappointing resolutions, but then get clear about where to go from here. How can you take this and make a win of epic proportions? Continue to prove them all wrong. Make the mess your message. How to rise when all the cards are against you. Think of the legacy you will build. That's what you'll be known for, my friend. And that probably bears reading again and again and again. And while I drove in silence, and sometimes with music blaring, I thought about that. I began to unpack it. I began to think about each line and think about what it meant. And the conclusion I come to was the outcome has not yet been determined. And what will determine the outcome is my attitude. If I get upset at what I perceived to be a disfavorable response, if I get upset about that, then it's a disappointing outcome. Because that's what happened. I didn't get the time, the attention, or the outcome that I felt was warranted. I get upset about it. That's it. It's a sad story. But what if I don't let this affect my attitude? What if I just go on as if it didn't happen? In reality, my life hasn't changed. And I still got a lot to be thankful for. Well, then it becomes nothing. It's not bad, but it's just kind of flat. It's even. It's neutral. Well, that's certainly better than bad. But what if I let it burn a fire? What if I take his words as a challenge? How can I make this a win of epic proportions? Now that would be something. I've been thinking about that. This doesn't have to turn out bad. And it doesn't have to turn out disappointing. It doesn't even have to turn out neutral. This can turn out to be a good thing. You know, I remember in 2007, I got laid off my job. And I looked for work for 3 weeks. I was diligent. I'd be up at 5. I'd put on a tie. I'd get dressed for work just like it was any other day. I'd walk down to the 7-Eleven, get a cup of coffee. I walked because I didn't want to use gas. I'd come back with a cup of coffee and the newspaper, and I'd go through the classifieds. I'd circle all the jobs that I thought might be available. I'd make all the calls. I'd send all the emails, the resumes. I'd make a plan for the afternoon for interviews. I'd go home. I'd get postage stamps and I'd mail out thank you letters for their time, for their interview, trying to get my name across their desk one more time before a decision was made. I was textbook. I was looking for a job the right way, diligently, for 3 weeks. The 4th week, I had to go make some money, one way or the other. I didn't have no gas, I didn't have no groceries, and rent was due. So I got in my truck, and I began to go look for some scrap metal. I didn't know nothing about it. I knew a lot of people were selling it. I knew everybody with a truck was picking it up. I didn't know where it was at. I didn't know how to find it. I didn't know what it paid. I didn't know how to clean it, separate. I didn't know any of that. I just knew that people was jumping in trash cans. They were taking out metal, and they were going and selling it. And I was hungry. So I did that. I went around in my truck and I started looking for metal. And I jumped inside of a dumpster behind a Publix, and I pulled out a barbecue grill. And I ran that down to the scrapyard thinking that grill, it filled up the bed of my little truck. This must be a big load. And I brought it in across the scales, and they paid me $5.42. And I was thinking, man, this is going to be a hard way to make a living. But I continued to do that day. By the end of the day, I made $50. I put 20 in gas. I went home with 30. I was able to eat. I was able to buy dog food. And that was enough reason for me to get up the next day and do it again. And again. And again. And before you know it, I had a business license. And I was self-employed. And I was making pretty good money. And scrap metal was good to me for the 4 or 5 years I was into it. And I went from that to another business, to another business, to another business. And I now describe myself as a serial entrepreneur. And that never would have happened had I not got laid off. You know, sometimes I'm learning storms don't come to necessarily destroy. Sometimes storms come to clear your path. And I don't have an explanation as to why things went the way they went yesterday. I'm still processing that. But if I come to the conclusion that this is a storm that has come to clear my path, as opposed to a storm that has come to destroy what I've built, then the outcome is completely different. So that's my message today. I don't know if it's for me or if it's for you. But if you got a situation and the outcome is not yet determined, you can change that with your attitude. The governor may say no, but that doesn't mean this don't turn into a win. I'm still processing it. I'm still thinking. And at the moment, I can't tell you how I'm going to turn it into a win of epic proportions. I'm searching for that. But I can tell you what it's not going to be. It's not going to be a story with a disappointing ending. It's not going to be a storm that comes to destroy my foundation. It's not going to be anything that makes me go backwards. It's not going to be something that comes and hurts me. I won't let it do that. What it is going to be, whatever shape, form it takes, it is going to be something that propels me forward. The outcome is not yet determined. That's all based on your attitude. The governor can say yes to my request. The governor can say no to my request. I can't control that. But what I can control is what I do about it. And you can control what you do about it. Whatever you're going through, whatever the situation is, it may look terrifying. And it may be terrifying. But that's not the outcome. It's just what happened. The outcome is what you do about it. I'm still processing that today. That's where I'm at. So thank you for your time. I hope in some way I could have encouraged you. And if I didn't encourage you, I encourage myself. So praise God, it's another day. And the outcome of whatever you're going through is whatever you make it.